So let me take you back to last Christmas. My wife and I have this long-standing tradition of hosting her family for the holidays. With two young kids, it just makes sense. We want them to be able to play with their new toys and soak up the magic of Christmas without the stress of travel. Sounds perfect, right? But here's where things get complicated. My wife and I are both vegetarians. Now, we're not pushy about it. We respect everyone's choices and believe that what people eat is entirely up to them. However, we do find the meat industry pretty horrifying, and it's tough for us to reconcile that with the idea of cooking meat in our own home. Most of my wife's family is vegetarian too, which makes things easier. But there are two exceptions: her dad and her brother. They usually cook the turkey at their place and then bring it over to heat up in our microwave. But here's the kicker: our microwave broke last year. Yep, on Christmas Day, of all days. My mother-in-law was just warming up some cake when it fizzed and died. Fun times, right? Now, we've never bothered to replace it because, honestly, we never used it anyway. So when my father-in-law suggested cooking the turkey in our oven this year, I felt a bit blindsided. I mean, we use our oven daily, and we really didn't want the smell of meat lingering in our home. I tried to explain this to him. I said, "Look, you're free to eat meat in our house. We're not against that. We just don't want it cooked in our oven." But he wasn't having any of it. He insisted that I was putting my silly beliefs ahead of the Christmas spirit. At this point, it felt like a standoff. I could feel the tension rising. I even suggested they bring their own air fryer, which would be a perfect compromise. But my father-in-law was still being difficult. It was as if he saw my vegetarianism as a personal affront to the holiday. As Christmas approached, I seriously considered just buying a new microwave to end this drama. I mean, why should I have to compromise my principles for turkey? But then, I remembered how much my kids look forward to Christmas with their family. I didn't want to ruin that for them. I started thinking about how to resolve this without losing my mind. I had to remind myself that family gatherings are supposed to be about love and connection, not a culinary battle. Yet, I felt this nagging frustration bubbling inside me. Why was it so hard for them to understand my perspective? Then it hit me. This wasn't just about the turkey. It was about respect and boundaries. I had to stand firm in my beliefs while also being considerate of my family's traditions. So I reached out to my wife. We had a heart-to-heart about the situation. She agreed that we should set our boundaries, but also suggested we could find a way to accommodate them without compromising our values. After all, we're all adults here, and compromise is part of family life. We finally decided to offer them the option of cooking the turkey at their place and bringing it over ready to eat. That way, our home would still feel like a sanctuary for our vegetarian lifestyle, and they'd get to enjoy their traditional holiday meal. When we presented this solution to my father-in-law, he seemed annoyed at first. But upon seeing our kids' faces light up with joy at the thought of Christmas together, he relented. It was a tense moment, but ultimately they agreed to our terms. And you know what? Christmas turned out to be a beautiful day. We laughed, we shared stories, and yes, there was turkey, just not cooked in our oven. My wife and I felt a sense of relief, knowing we had stuck to our values while still keeping the family spirit alive. But here's the question lingering in my mind. AITA for not wanting the meat to be cooked in our oven? I mean, should I have just sucked it up and let them use it? Or did I make the right call in standing my ground? I'd love to hear your thoughts.